Oh, you scared me. Look at you weirdos just sitting there staring at me. You guys are creepy. Anyway, welcome back to the worm. It's trying to be full-on spring now. Days are nice and long. I got a few things I want to take care of. I just set up a brand new tent because the big monster orange red tent that I used last year got sun-baked and I had to throw it away. So got a new 4-man tent. So hopefully, I don't know, Sarah, you gonna come visit? I'm kind of hoping my girlfriend will come visit me a little bit this summer. Came down here to the gazebo I dropped my guitar in here so I can, I'm hoping it's not gonna freeze again. It's getting pretty close to freezing overnight some of the nights, but I really want to start playing guitar again out here. Oh yeah, I gotta finish the amazing hanging table sometime. It's dried out so much that it doesn't hang right on the chains anymore. It's only been, what, a month or so? But the reason I came down here just now is to get the solar panel frame. Now I think there's enough sun on the average day to actually get the solar panels back out. So I was hoping Tito would be out here and he could help me lug this frame around. And the only way to get it out of here is through here. I did put in like a walking trail that goes right up to camp. You guys can watch. You should probably watch. You want to see me fail and flail and all that? I think this is going to be enjoyable for you, not for me. All right, you know, as always, when do you guys want to get one end of this? No? You're just gonna sit there and watch me? Yeah, you watch me struggle. I got it. If I start going down, I'm sure one of you guys will jump in. Well, it's lighter than it was when I built it, just because the lumber's dried out. All right. Oh, it's the worst. Need to like put a handle on here or something. I could just do it like 20 feet at a time. I'll just start running. So what do you want to talk about? Anything on your mind? Oh, oh. Oh no. There's too many branches. Let's just plow through. Seems like it's getting heavier. Back on the trail. How about right there? Does that look good? Found this cool app last year, Sensor Align, so you can figure out the best direction. Put your panels apparently right there. And also, once you get the right cardinal direction to face your panels for that time of year, you can then calculate the best inclination for it with the app. It's kind of cool. Yeah, that should work. Now I gotta go back down and get the four-wheeler and get the blocks and stuff. I can't have a minute without working on my audiobook. I think this is the third video I've made, so it's been it couldn't be 3 weeks. 2 weeks I've been listening to it. I only have a couple days left. I'm trying to finish it up before it's due. Let's see. It's the James Michener book, Alaska. I am 43 hours in, only 14 hours left to go. So I ought to be able to finish it by tomorrow. It's a great one. If you haven't read it, read it, listen to it. You know, I got this stuff last fall. Built the frame, sewed the cover for this. There's videos of all that stuff. You can go back to last maybe September, October. I'm not sure what video number it is. I put a link here to it. But I got all this stuff set up, everything put together, and it was too late in the year. There was no sun. I didn't even get to use it. I think I tried just for the video, for the end of that one video. I plugged the power station in and it trickled a little bit because the sun was just filtering through the trees. So this would be sweet. I can't wait to try it out. Probably gonna have to wait till tomorrow. see if I can remember how I had this set up. The thing I like about these panels is there's nothing to break. These flexible panels are so much better for this kind of stuff than the rigid ones. These panels aren't really meant to be like your sole source of power, which they kind of are for me in the summer. So they're not 100% waterproof. I guess you can get them wet. They probably won't explode or anything, but since I'm only going to use them once, maybe once a week, I think this is enough power if you had perfect sun, which you'll probably never have, but if you have perfect sunny day directly overhead, I think I can charge my battery in 2.5 hours. And it takes me, like, if I do a lot of editing, a lot of computering, I could probably go through the battery in 4 or 5 days. So realistically, I'm gonna be using it once a week. That's why I sewed up the cover. I think that's in a video too. Sat out here at the picnic table and actually used the Jackery battery to run my industrial sewing machine. But I think it may rain tonight, so I'm gonna throw this on there. It'll be fun tomorrow morning to put this out and see how fast it charges. Somebody really needs to make some steps there. It's not much direct sunlight, but it's charging 20 watts. Mostly shadow right now. I'll have to check back when the sun gets up there a little bit higher. I checked the inclination on the app, and this is actually really close to optimal for this time of year, so it'll be interesting to see what happens. If you kindly leave me alone, I'm still in my pajamas and haven't finished my coffee. Bet you never thought you'd meet a guy that drank his coffee in a tool shed every morning and absolutely loved it. Just can't help myself. This place is great. Especially on a morning when like this, when it's 35 degrees and you could turn a little heat on. All right, now it's getting full sun. Still from quite an angle. You can see the shadow from here to here, so not head on. Let's see what it's doing. 460 watts input, which means at that rate it would charge in 3.5 hours. Well, that's great. So that's more than half the total possible output of the solar panels. These are each 200 watt panels, so we got 800 watts. So it's possible you could see 800 watts charging on there. Got a couple other things to do today. I found a place not too far away where I can get water, like spring water, that I don't have to treat. So I got out all my buckets. I think I got like 10 5-gallon buckets. And I had to go out to the grocery store anyway earlier, so I filled up all the buckets, and I'm going to pump these into the water tower instead of using the swamp water. We'll see how much of a pain in the butt it is to drag water in here, but you know, if I'm going out anyway, doesn't take much time to fill the buckets up. That's 50 gallons of water right there. I use about maybe 4 gallons a day between drinking, washing dishes, taking a shower. So, you know, if I just do that once every couple weeks when I go out to do my normal chores, I should be able to keep the water tower full. I, of course, could just use the water right out of the buckets, but that's not much fun. So I'm gonna grab a battery and the water pump, take it over there and pump this into the tower. So I got the solar panels out. I really want to burn through some batteries just because I can recharge them basically for free. Like with those things charging that well, I'm all of a sudden like, what can I do to use up power? I want to burn through that Jackery battery as fast as I can and then plug it back in tomorrow. It's a weird feeling to just all of a sudden have unlimited power out here. It's been what, 2 years and several months that I've been living out here in a tent, and power is kind of a pain in the butt. You know, I use it as sparingly as possible. If I know I'm gonna leave here and like go visit a friend or go do laundry or something, that I save up all my dead Ryobi batteries and I take them out like to the laundromat, plug all these chargers in and all my stuff. But you know what, I think I need to get a hairdryer. Or like maybe get out an electric space heater and in the cold mornings use a space heater in here instead of the propane. Hey, don't take your power or your water for granted wherever you live. Maybe shut your water off for a couple weeks and your power off, and then just see what life's like without it, and then when you turn it back on, you really appreciate it. This was so well worth a month of my time to build this thing. I just can't fathom how awesome it came out. I've only used it a couple times because stuff's just barely dry, but man, it is so sweet. Anybody that happens to be new to the channel, the last, I think, 4 videos we're building this thing. It's 100% cedar trees from the property here, all milled up with the chainsaw, and then very, very artfully put together. And by artful, I mean just kind of chucked together however came to mind as I was going. But the best part is to stand here and shower and look out at that. Okay, I'll stop saying it. It's sweet. This thing's awesome. So when there's still a danger of things freezing, I can't use the water tower because you can blow out the valves and the hose and everything. So I just go down to the drainage over here, the swamp drainage, and fill up buckets of water, and I dump the buckets into the pot and boil them up. But now there shouldn't be much worry of a very deep freeze. And the hose runs down here, and then you just fill your pot from the hose and heat up the water. Whew, I have to get my other headphones. That thing sounds horrible. Gotta put in my chainsaw headphones. Oh, so much better. Oh, there's actually another reason. I forgot to mention that I'm doing spring water. I went out to the runoff and it hasn't rained. I mean, it rained one day, not that much, but it hasn't rained much in the last few weeks. There's no water out here already. So the snow melted, it all ran off, and everything dried up. So already, I don't know what month this is, May? There's no water source out here except for what I'm doing. It's kind of freaky. That's why I like to get both of these filled up, and why I was really happy to find good water. The first year I was out here, this ran all year long. Maybe in August it stopped up a little bit. Nothing. Usually this is just ripping through here, and this one is too. That's the swamp up towards there, so it all just kind of comes down through here, but stagnant, not usable. All right, what's next? Man, there's just so much fun stuff to do on a day like this. A week, almost a whole week like this. It's like around 60, a little breezy, sunny. Oh, there's so much fun stuff. This is one, it doesn't really need to be done. I have some other stuff that I kind of need to do, but I can't really wait. I just want to see if this works. Found a bucket of this stuff. Fibered black roof coating. I don't really know what that means. I'm assuming it looks like tar, probably goes on sort of like tar. And you guys know I built this thing a long time ago. I don't think I made a video about it, but this is just to cover up. Well, right now I got a bunch of junk underneath here, but my little generator is under here. I just use the generator in the winter, really just to charge the Jackery battery up. And also the chainsaw sharpener's right here, so whenever I have to sharpen chains, I hang them right here, sharpen them here, and I run it to the generator. So this roof I made just to keep the water off the generator, but this is just the offcuts from the logs. I think these are all cedar. Not all of them, most of them are cedar. So I just throw these in a pile, and can always find something to do with them. I had a stack of these and I needed a quick roof, so I put it together, and I've had to kind of roof caulk it a couple times, but now that all the wood's drying out, you see there's cracks in here. There are some spots where the water actually just goes through the middle of the board. So because that bucket of black roofy stuff was so cheap, I just grabbed it and I thought, I'm gonna smear it on the whole top of this thing and just see if it does waterproof this, and if it does, how long it'll last. Bunch of places I'd like to have a little overhang. Like, it'd be cool to have a little overhang on the deer castle, because I really use the deer castle mostly in the winter, and I drive the four-wheeler out there, eat dinner out there a lot of times, and it's dark at 5 o'clock, so I go out there around 5. And a lot of times it's snowing, I get out there and the snow, or the four-wheeler just gets covered in snow. So it'd be cool if there's a little roof about this size that you could just park the four-wheeler under. I'd also like to make a little roof like this just as a place to work underneath outside when the weather's bad. If you guys remember when I made the man cave, I strung a tarp up there just like one day it was raining and I really wanted to be working on that. So if I didn't have to mill up good lumber and use it for roof, I just don't want to use good lumber for roof. There's other stuff I'd rather build with it. But if I can use all these throwaways, which most of this pile, these are all just the first and last cuts. I always have a crap ton of them laying around, and if I could use those to build a little roof, that'd be fantastic. If it doesn't work, that's fine. I've built lots of stuff that doesn't work, but that's how you learn, right? Should we take bets? Do you think this is gonna work? Do you think I slop all this on and a year from now it'll still not be leaking? I kind of feel like that's a tall order, but you never know. I don't even know what we're gonna find in here, if this is gonna be fairly solid goop or liquid or what. I can hear you. I can hear you already saying, Ryan, it's a horrible idea. You don't even know what's in there. Oh, that's what I expected. Whoa. How come they didn't fill it up all the way? Oh, yeah. Well, you don't put that on with a brush. Holy cow. Now I'm not sure what to do. I don't even think I can get that on there. Let's just see what happens, huh? I mean, I already got it here. You know, actually, there's one other worry. I think this is going to make it stink here for a long time. I don't know how long it'd take for that smell to go away. Well, whatever. Oh, man. This is going to be a disaster. Well, it sure is gloppy. It probably doesn't help that the can was probably 40 degrees. So I still don't know if this is a great idea or a horrible idea. It does look waterproof. It's a good thing I didn't wear my church pants. So I was trying to be careful with this, but I got smudges all over me. If I had 2 buckets, I could put this on a lot faster. I wouldn't have to try to stretch it so far, but I really want to be able to conclude this today. It would be a whole lot easier if this was not cold. Good forearm and shoulder workout. Okay, well, now I have to admit it's weirdly satisfying to do this. There's some spots where the cracks were a little bit too big and I had to glop it in there. I might have to go back and fill the cracks in, but wow, that's really shiny and gross looking. Had to paint the ends too, you know, just to put a little class to the project. Oh, I forgot to check this out when the sun was right overhead. Now it's passed over to the side a bit. I'm guessing it's charged though. Yep, 100% charged. So realistically, I could put that out there at 10, 11 o'clock. It'd be probably charged up by 2 or so, 3. It's fantastic. Whew, it's getting kind of chilly in the shade. Not quite as warm today as it has been the last couple days. One more thing I really want to get done today before I wrap things up is treating my clothes. I think I killed a mosquito like 3 weeks ago or something. It was one mosquito. It might not have been a mosquito, I don't know. But I got several bites today for the first time, so they're finally coming out. Which also means the ticks are out. The Upper Peninsula in Michigan is kind of known for having a lot of ticks. I treated all my clothes the last 2 years, and actually I'll show you the stuff I put on the ground. In case anybody else has issues with ticks and or any other kind of biting bugs that bite through your shirt or something, I'll show you what I do. This stuff seems to work great. It's got the ugly little bastards on there. Ortho Bug Be Gone. It's a granule that you put in one of these guys, spin it, fling it all over the place. So I've used this the last 2 years, and the only time I've seen ticks out here is early season before I put that stuff out, and then I put it out. I do it maybe every 2 months or so. I'm not really sure how long it's supposed to last, but I tend to overdo it because I friggin' hate ticks. But spread that all around here, any of the main areas that I spend a lot of time, and then I treat all my clothes with permethrin. And I almost thought of the name of it. It's a yellow spray bottle. You get it in the camping section of any big box store. It's not coming to me. It's a permethrin spray just for spraying on your clothes, and the directions are pretty mind-numbingly stupid because it's actually sold in some forms, permethrin, to be used on your animals and to spray around your house to kill bugs. But the yellow spray bottle says specifically don't get it on your skin. Spray all your clothes with it, don't get it on your skin. I guess you're just supposed to let it dry. Anyway, I did some reading. I go through so much of that stuff, it takes me like 1 to 2 bottles of it, which are maybe, I don't know, 12 or 15 bucks a piece, to treat all your clothes. It actually does last at least a month on your clothes, even if you wash them. I don't know how that's possible, but it really does work. But instead of my spending 30 bucks every month or two to treat my clothes, I found you can buy permethrin at a Tractor Supply store. There's probably other places to buy it, any place that does livestock kind of stuff. So just looking at the ingredients, you can hear active ingredient permethrin 10%. I think the clothing spray you buy at the big box store is 1%, so I mix it 1 to 10 in a spray bottle. You can see I haven't used that this year, haven't shaken it up yet, but you can see the 10% sitting on top. And you hose your clothes down with it. This is how much permethrin I've used on my own clothes and other people's clothes in 2 years. And this thing was like, I don't know, maybe 10 or 15 bucks or something. Anyway, it's like a tenth the price if you go this way. So I'm going to pull out some of my clothes and hose them all down. Get the clothesline up here so I can fit basically everything I own. I have a few pair of jeans. I spray all my t-shirts. It not only keeps ticks off of you, but the bugs like mosquitoes won't bite through your clothes. So I do all my t-shirts, all my chainsawing shirts like this, button-down shirts. I spray those, spray my hats. So I'm going to get to it, pull all my clothes out here and give them a good hosing. I need to get some new t-shirts someday. See right through these things. I think I got this one as a hand-me-down about 10 years ago. I should make a new brand of this called Ticks Be Damned. Maybe that's what I'll call my own house brand here. If I hadn't found this stuff and my bug smokers, the thermocells, I don't think I'd be able to live out here in the summer. The bugs just make you absolutely insane. I don't know how the old-timey people ever did it. I know a lot of people asked me about these the last couple of years, but between using permethrin on my clothes and this, I can live out here without absolutely losing my mind in the summer. I don't know if you guys have ever seen these, but, well, here's a plug for Thermacell. Just a little handheld thing. There's a butane cartridge in the bottom. Turn the switch on, click the button, and there's a little tiny fire inside, and it heats up this pad that has, I think these are alethrin. So everything ending in IN or ERIN, permethrin, alethrin, there's a bunch of different ones. There are all these different chemicals used to scare bugs away. I think they're synthetic, but made from something that's in the chrysanthemum flower that keeps bugs away. Anyway, you let this thing run for, I don't know, 5 or 10 minutes. It gets warm, and then there's just like a little bit of mist that comes off of them. And these truly, truly do work. I mean, I use bug spray on my exposed skin every morning during the summer, and then in the evening I take a shower. Once I take a shower, I have to go straight into the tent or inside a bug net so I don't get eaten alive unless I have one of these things on. I turn it on, put it in my back pocket, and it's kind of a miracle. You wouldn't think it'd work, but it kind of clears out a whole area. I think enough people ask me about these. I think I put links in the description of all the videos. I think this is in there. I don't think there's anything about the permethrin spray, but if you spend any time outdoors and you're annoyed by the mosquitoes, I highly recommend these. They also sell clothes that are treated with permethrin like this spray, and apparently they last much, much longer. Like as you wash them, like you can wash them, I don't know, for a year or two or something, it still has effectiveness, and this is just a matter of a month or two. But it is the same chemical. Somehow this is impregnated in the fabric or something like that. Might want to look all that up. I could just be talking out my butt, but I spent quite a bit of time in the last 2 years reading about all these chemicals and ways to chase bugs away. It's my favorite shirt. So appropriate. Yeah, you know, every 6 or 8 years I get new socks, and I bought these a year or two ago and then figured my socks weren't too gross, so I've still been wearing them, but why not break out the new ones, right? I like to do my socks and especially my pant cuffs like the bottom of my jeans really heavy so that the, you know, the ticks often come from the ground. Usually a lot of times they're on the grass and bushes and stuff, and as you drag against it, they get on you, but they have to go somewhere. They can't burrow in straight through your pant leg, so they'll go down and climb up your socks or get up underneath your shirt. So I always do like the waistband of my pants and stuff pretty heavily. Holy schmoly, why would anybody need socks this white? It's like startling white. One more thing about bugs I found out here. I started using this non-DEET spray. It's picaridin, I think it's called, 15%, instead of the DEET, because DEET makes you so sticky and, you know, it can melt some plastic. I am not afraid of wearing chemicals, those nasty chemicals, but I just don't really like the way it feels. And all the studies that I read said picaridin was as good as DEET in most cases for most bugs. There are a couple bugs it doesn't work on, but I used it a whole bunch the last couple years and I really like it. I do think it works just as well. However, I did find that I have to put it on. This says repels ticks and mosquitoes for up to 10 hours. In my experience, that's not the case. The DEET actually lasts significantly longer for me out here, like twice as long. I'd have to put this this stuff on 3-4 times a day, and this maybe twice if the bugs are really bad and I'm working outside all day. But if you're only going out for a short time, a couple hours or something, and you don't like the feel of DEET, I'd try this stuff. You just have to look at the active ingredients, the bottom I believe it's called picaridin. Could be picaridin. No, I think it's picaridin. Maybe it's picaridin. You know, whatever. Oh, the other thing that I read up on, spent a lot of time learning about bug sprays. You always wonder if the higher percentages of DEET are better. And what I've found reading all the studies is up to like 40%, if you go 5%, 10, 20, whatever, and you get up to about 40%, that's kind of the top of the curve. Anything over that doesn't really repel more mosquitoes. There's one study I read that said it might last a little longer. So if you go from 40 to 50, 60, 80%, it might last more than, I don't know how long they say 40% lasts. But I figured the the dollars and cents to amount of DEET you're getting in spray, and I did find that the 40% is the best. I found these, sometimes you can find them in a 2 or a 4 pack and you get a pretty good deal. 40% DEET. If you're cheap like me, that's the way to go. Well, it's another fine morning. A little bit cool, but pretty nice. Now, when I look at the solar panels, all I can think is, look at all that wasted energy. All right, this sucker needs stairs. Let's see, what's the easiest way to do this? There is an extra stump right here. I could use that for a foundation. You know what maybe I'll do is, I've got some more concrete, I don't know what they're called, little round concrete things over here. I could grab a couple of those to use as feet. And maybe I just make this like a triangle. I could cut that off flat. I could put a foot here and a foot there, because you always kind of come in from this way anyway. Maybe I'll just make the little frame out of logs, like some junk logs laying around here. I think part of the reason I don't like to make stairs is there's nothing really fun about something you walk on like that as you're on your way to something cool. And it eats up a bunch of lumber. Like I don't want to waste lumber on stairs. And frankly, they're just not really that fun to build. So let's use logs. That won't use up extra lumber. Make that a little platform, and then maybe do like a box on the back of it or something, because I think it's going to take 2 steps to get up there. Let's not think about it too hard. Let's just find some logs. Oh, there's still ice under here. Still froze. Flat enough. I may end up pouring some concrete underneath these two long side feet. It's kind of an odd thing because, as you guys saw in the other videos, when the ground freezes, this side of the cabin lifts up because it's sitting on the ground and that side's a stump. So I'm not really sure what would happen if I put concrete underneath this. I don't know how everything would move together, but if I do pour a footing there, these stairs, I don't even think I'm going to attach these stairs to anything right now. I'm just going to set them on the pads and the stump. And then even if these settle a bit and the stairs are leaning, I could pull them out and put some gravel underneath there or whatever. And then down the line, if I want to, I could make a concrete base there. Or even rip this off and attach the stairs to that. I don't know. Let's just go for what we got here. Wow, that's a lot of building scraps. Holy crap. It's still not to the bottom of the dust, the chips. Holy cow. It was like 8 inches of wood chips. Whew, that's pretty good. Perfect. Oh, and even that way's good. What are the chances? Since I just completely wung it, uh, these aren't completely even here, so I think I'm just gonna, instead of like trying to plane down that much wood, I think I'm just gonna mark them like there and somewhere around there. Same with this one, it's a little bit higher, so just mark right there and somewhere back there. So from here to here, I'm going to take off a 1/4 inch. Oh, that's pretty nice. I think I took too much off. I wrote an eighth, I think I took a quarter. We just whittle these down until they're wafer thin. Saves weight on the earth, you know. Planet is getting pretty heavy these days. Oh, it's perfect. Wow, that came out ratalicious. Does anybody say that anymore? Anybody ever say that? That's kind of a standard set of stairs, isn't it? It's always how I imagined them being built. All right, let's see what kind of junk we got. I like to do floors in aspen if they're inside, but I think since it's gonna be out in the weather, better do cedar. I do have a couple of weird shaped cedar boards under here. Oh, you know what I could use? I could use the old floor from the old shower. I took them off the old shower when I finished this one just a few days ago. The boards were screwed down to a pallet. That was the floor of the old shower, and I kept them and I planed off the top of them just to see what it looked like. Oh, they're right here, I'll show you. That would be kind of cool. Yeah, I planed off a couple of them. I had them siped just so they wouldn't be slippery. Oh, I think we got to do that. Maybe I should do that. They're already made, they're already cut. Well, yeah, they didn't all get planed. Yeah, there actually are enough. Don't you think it's a sign from the chainsaw gods that I better use them? They're nice because they're already siped up, so your boot junk sits in there nicely. I don't have to mill up another tree. I don't have to use up good lumber. I think it has to be done. The only downside is that because I've cut them almost halfway through to make that non-skid, they're not as strong. You got some flex to them. I'd have to put another beam in between there. Oh, look what I found, another one. It was just laying like this in the woods. That looks pretty good enough. See if I can do this without cutting into the concrete. Well, ain't that pretty? Stairs made from homemade recycled lumber. Both homemade and recycled. Get a little bit skeptical and freaked out when I find a perfectly good board like that 12-footer, beautiful cedar laying in my pile. I can't believe I would have put it there and not remembered or not built something out of it, so it kind of freaks me out like somebody broke into the worm and just started leaving lumber. It ain't right. Just ain't right. Look, an IKEA step. That was like down to the sawdust millimeter. I didn't even have enough wood to make the, what would you call that? Just the little lip on top of the step that sticks out. I didn't have enough wood to make that. I mean, I could cut another one, but I made it all from one board and didn't even really have enough. Left some, it's a live edge that will be inside the stair, so that'll be nice. You don't want to watch a guy make a box. I just went over to turn the camera on. It's been running for 37 minutes straight. So my memory card's full. This will just appear done by itself. Ready? Boom. Boom. Whatever. Those are the weirdest looking steps I ever saw. I feel like I ought to do a choppy chops on the top of this too to make it match, don't you think? Yeah? Alright. Of course, I shouldn't have put all those nails in because then I gotta try to miss them all, but that's okay. Let's give it a go. Yep, that was worth it. Now we just need to cram a little dirt in there. All right, that was a successful couple days. I feel like I got a lot done. I just got my little 3D printer here. Got a couple 3D printers. One's quite old and very small, and that's why I decided to bring it here. I read the little tag on the bottom, and the small one uses 150 watts, and the big one's double that. My bigger 3D printer has 2 print heads on it, and a much bigger bed, so the heater in the bed, you know, takes a lot more power. Got my little one here. It's supposed to dump rain the next day and a half anyway, like a pretty solid storm, so I brought the Jackery battery back out here and uncovered that. It's been kind of overcast all day, but just seeing if I can get it topped up so I could spend the day tomorrow or tomorrow and a half designing and 3D printing in there. Also found in my stash I got some of this Thompson's water seal, so might seal this thing up. I think you're supposed to not have it rained on for like 48 hours after you put it on, so better not do it. I'll just let it get wet now and I'll finish this all up later on sometime. So provided I can get this 3D printer to work, hopefully that'll be the next video. If you guys know all about 3D printers, maybe it won't be the video for you, or maybe it will. I don't know if you've ever seen anybody do 3D printing without a power, without a wall plug. I certainly haven't. I don't even know if it's possible. I guess it's possible. My other printer, my bigger printer, it's all enclosed. I have used a lot more recently. This actually don't even have the program to do this on my, mosquitoes, to do this on my computer. So I'll have to see if I can download that out here with almost no service. But I got at least 1 or 2 things that I want to print that'll fit on this bed nicely. See, here's, if you don't know about 3D printing, here's some stuff I printed. Most of this is in orange plastic because I got a great deal on a whole bunch of rolls of it, but 3D printer, you can print stuff that's interlocked. So that was actually printed just like that on the bed. Here's another one. Didn't come out quite as nice. This is that plastic that has wood in it. It's like a printed chainmail almost. Oh, and then I've been working on I mean not in years, but I was working on the world's biggest spirograph. What else we got in here? Some other weird doodads. This is what I like when I first started 3D printing. This stuff kind of blew my mind that you can print something that has 2 interlocked pieces or more. So I brought some silver PLA, this orange stuff that I have a boatload of. I even brought some of this. I don't know what I make with it, but if I start designing stuff and get carried away, this is glow in the dark. It's kind of a fun thing to use. Also got this other plastic that, well, this one on the outside is actually rubber. It's rubberized, but it 3D prints. And then this is this was I don't remember why, but I had to pressurize a snowmobile gas tank and I couldn't figure out how to do it, so I just printed this real quick. It goes in the filler cap and then you can hook a pump up to it. Anyway, if any of that sounds interesting, come back next week. We'll give it a go. Be a nice rainy day, which is a great opportunity to do stuff like this. When the weather's nice, especially till about right now, before there are bugs, before there are mosquitoes, the weather's nice and cool. I just have a hard time doing anything that's not outside and active. So this stuff just sits. But, you know, if we get a rainstorm, it's a great opportunity. Anyway, thanks for watching. See you next week. Nice steps.